This is the first vlog of the school year, and I'm kind of excited because I've never done a research class like this before. And so far in the first official week of school, there's been a lot of things that have been happening in the seminar class, which has not happened before. Like we gave a presentation, and while giving the presentation, I was actually kind of nervous because I had this habit of stuttering when I'm presenting. Like right now, I'm calm, comfortable just talking to a mic and camera, so it's not that nerve wracking compared to as when you're giving a presentation in front of people you don't know yet, right? So I do remember I stuttered a little bit in the presentation. I think by practicing more, that won't be an issue. And you also said about the vlog assignment, which at the end of the year we're making a movie with clippets on it. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited to do that one actually, to see all my vlogs throughout the school year and how I can montage them into one big video. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And then A-Push is just so boring, just lacking my presentations. But yeah, that was the first week of school. Wrapped up. I had fun doing the presentation, researching about the topic I chose, and I look forward to do more in the future. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you. Hi, and this is vlog number 2 for AP Seminar. And this week I want to talk about quite a few things. And going off of a positive experience from last week, I'm even more excited to start and continue doing this every week. It's like my highlight of the weekend. Paintings that we had analyzed for much of the week. So that was that was a very complex thing to do because when I look at a painting generally, I just look at the colors and basically the overall scenery that's been drawn. I never really look at it and take a deep dive into what the artist is trying to convey. Reading, right? The Handmaid's Tale. That's the book I chose. And the first few chapters were a little disturbing because it talks about in the former United States. Just thinking about that is horrific for me even now. And talking about, I'm not going to talk about it here, but the other harsh realities women see in the future. Hi, and this is the vlog number 1.6 for AP Seminar, recapping the 6th official week of school. So this week, the main goal was for me to find 2 additional sources that build off of what I found last week. So last week, what I mainly found was how Irish immigration helped other immigrant groups in America to adapt and assimilate better. Hello, and this is vlog number 7 for AP Seminar, and there's a lot to unpack for this week. I mean, obviously, we had to turn the papers in, the presentation, making the presentation, delivering the presentation, and the reflection right now. And the one bad thing I noticed about me was my hands were in my pocket, and I was looking down for most of the presentation. And look, I did not. It kind of makes it seem like I'm disengaged from the rest of my group mates, but that's not what I intended to be. It's just at that moment when you're in front of all those people, there's some nerves to it. There's a little bit of nervousness that plays into it, which which I would say is natural. But I think when I'm looking at it right now, it seem like I am disengaged, but that's really not the case. Hello, this is vlog number 8 for AP Seminar. And so this week I want to first talk about Monday is when we had our block schedulers and where we had our debate and you introduced our new unit. So we had our new unit introduced, which was social media. And the topic of the debate was how social media makes us a better global citizen. Nowadays, you're going to be penalized for it. And not just like any way, you will be tracked down. And then I had to ultimately take it down. But in the end, that's just not what social media is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a place where you can project your opinions, no matter what they are, and not get flamed for it, right? And then Hello, and this is vlog number 2.1 for AP Seminar. And this week, to recap, obviously the first vlog of the second quarter question, which is gonna interest us, right? And then in that activity where we went around the class correcting the bad questions there, I really liked it, and I especially liked the one that talked about the education part, on how education systems are bad in Latin American countries, and how our group, with me and Lenuka and Carolina, I think, we came up with a question that dealt with gender bias in many of those countries. In many of those countries, women are primarily meant to hold a more orthodox. Hello, and this is vlog number 2.2 for AP Seminar. And to recap for last week, what we did was, the first thing Monday was to finish the annotated bibliography. That's that to look up. And then this week, obviously, yesterday and today, we kind of figured out our groups. Me, Lenuka, and Carolina. So, yeah, I'm really happy with that. Lenuka's a great guy, Carolina's a great speaker, so it's gonna be a good fit for them and for me. Hello, and this is vlog 2.3 for AP Seminar, recapping the third week of the second quarter. And the day's finally here. We picked our own groups, and now we're gonna progress into our mock version of task 1. We then progressed into what was the harder part, was to decide our question. And so Carolina really wanted to do something related to education, like specifically hands-on learning, and then me and Lenuka were not really up for it at the beginning. We decided on cryptocurrency, which was an idea I brought up in the very beginning, which we kind of kept later to do later on. So our final question was, to what extent can a regulatory framework be established on cryptocurrency? And the main focus of that will be in the environmental, political, and economic, political, and environmental lens. And we're gonna explore the different ways we can establish a framework in which cryptocurrency, based on as it's expanding, can be regulated. What's good, Miss Hjelm? This is vlog 2.5, I think. It's kind of hard to keep track because I forgot the last one, and that kind of hit my grade pretty hard. So I still have an 8, but still, that one hit the grade pretty hard, and I'm trying my best not to forget it. I put a reminder on my phone to remind me each Saturday to take a vlog. Today's Monday, though. Monday of Thanksgiving break. I don't know what the date is, but it's good to have a break after a long time, So anyway, yeah, this is vlog. Decided to change things up a little bit for some private reasons, which I'm not gonna disclose. Carolina wasn't there for the bulk of last week, but written in a much more academic way, less of opinion, and there was a lot of grammatical mistakes and some pretty severe grammatical mistakes, which kind of convolutes the meaning of the entire passage. I'm trying to read a paragraph and I can't understand. I think that's a little too harsh. I can't understand literally anything. Hello, and this is vlog 3.1 for AP Seminar, the first vlog of the new year 2024. Into our project, right? Um, Things have not been great at all because we're at a point where other teams are actually doing their research, and then we're stuck on some some stupid thing we shouldn't even be. Like the other day, our group lost time in class, and then we were taken to the safe room, which I felt was completely unnecessary, and we could have gotten some research done, which we were taking that time out of. And this whole problem has there's no way to say this without pointing fingers, but I feel like us three guys are trying to push the project in a way that's gonna benefit us all, and then there's not a consensus within our group. Seeing when we're researching, if I'm being honest, I don't think we'll be able to hold character while presenting, because I mean, we're boys, and sometimes, like when we hear a word and it's like, ha, you said. I don't know. It's just that, like, while reading it, right, and I'm reading the article, and then I'm like, start giggling out of nowhere. It's just so I have. It's just something that I have to, like, control myself, and like me, Tony, Henrique, we have to like do as together, like to not goof around while doing the topic, and so I mean that's just like a point that we have to kind of get over. Week was literally about the IRR. I'm done with the IRR. I'm not really content with it because some of the articles were like long and had a lot of statistics in it, and it took me like a solid day or two to actually interpret the statistics to actually understand what it means. So when I'm writing my IRR, I know what I'm talking about, and I have these studies to back what I'm saying, so that it makes my point credible, and it makes my relation, like my connection to the author, better. Your reviews. Mia's got my paper, and I'm really hoping that I get some constructive feedback, so I know what edits to make additionally on top of what I thought I was gonna make in the first place. I think my team's IRR is coming pretty good. Penrique, Tony, Carolina, we have had good IRRs. Carolina's IRR was the one that I was a little more concerned about, and then that's coming out to be pretty good. So yeah, that's a positive thing. Good. Same with Tony and Enrique. Their papers are good. Completely backed up by the researchers, and I'm looking forward to the TMP. And speaking of the TMP, I feel like there's not enough time from when the IRR ends and then when we actually make our presentation. Because I feel like we end today and then 3 days later it's due. I feel like we need like a little bit more time because like we're also gonna be going through like a lot of like stuff with the TMP, like showing it to the class, changing a couple things, formatting it and everything. So I feel like if we had like maybe 2 days more on just making the presentation, like maybe including a weekend in it in between, that'd be perfect. Cause I mean it'll be nice to have some time because like last time with the cryptocurrency, me and Lenuka had a lot of time over Thanksgiving break, and that's kind of convenient as well. Yeah, we had a lot of time over Thanksgiving break, and we were able to do a good chunk of our work to restructure how our presentation was, and to have the final product as we did, and also to have some time to actually rehearse it because I don't want to go over time this time. I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes, even though everybody would love to hear me speak for 11 and a half minutes. That's not what I intend to do because hello, and this is vlog 3.3 for AP Seminar. I'm not gonna upload this to YouTube because two things. I mean, one, it's late at night, and then second, I don't want to put this out there. Uh, so yeah, let's just get started with it. Yeah, so the IRRs are done. Henrique took a crap load of time to actually turn his in, which is actually kind of frustrating if you ask me, because I mean I know the guy, right? I mean I knew what I was getting myself into when I went for the teams, and yeah, he finished his conclusion 2 hours after it was due in the middle of school, which is kind of, you think like, what the you know? And then I'm like, okay, fine, you did whatever you did. But, I mean, yeah, then, okay, things go on. We read each other's IRRs. We did the edits per the peer review with the yellow paper, yeah. So yeah, we had that done. We read each other's paper, just trying to find the main idea of each one, each person's point of view, and just to save us some time, last Sunday I kind of picked out a template that we were gonna use, and that's what we ended up doing. We ended up using the template I chose because I just wanted to like save some time instead of fooling around or just messing with templates. We had one available for us. So I mean, yeah, templates was good. And then as for the information goes, I feel like Tony's lens is kind of hard to incorporate because he had the historical lens, and I mean, how are you supposed to tie that back into limiting factors? I mean, after reading his, he talked a lot about the Industrial Revolution and how men nowadays are not as active, which kind of does contribute to the uh, decreased level of testosterone, which I feel like is a good starting point for us in the group. Mm.
Hi, I'm Enrique,
I'm Kumar.
I'm Tony,
Yeah, I'm Carolina.
and today we're going to talk about the effects of testosterone on lifestyle.
Okay, so testosterone is a primary male androgen. What that means is that it's a primary male sex hormone that's present predominantly and it's less common in females. Testosterone is what is responsible for the growth of facial hair in men, the deepening of our voice, and as we ascend into adulthood, our sex drive. As well as, testosterone is seen to naturally decline in men as we approach the age of 40, and it's prevalent in 40% of the population.
Although testosterone naturally declines as men age, recent studies have shown that testosterone levels have unnaturally declined over the past years. This is proven by a study done by Soom D. Luxuar from the University of Miami Miller School of Medicine, where they measured the testosterone levels of different age groups over different time periods. As you can see, regardless of the different age groups, testosterone levels steadily decline.
This leads us to our question. To what extent does male testosterone level and lifestyle influence one another in modern society?
Some of the
Societal effect of having testosterone deficiency is poor leadership skills. A study by Giso, who's also another renowned researcher, shows that men with average to high testosterone have way better leadership skills than men with lower testosterone and even women, which really brings out this lane girl boss.
Hi, so this is current Kumar in May 22nd, 2024, and yeah, I want to talk about that scene honestly because there's a lot that I wanted to say which I haven't been able to. So seriously, girl boss. I mean, all that time you spend in Reddit and then you come up with a stupid joke like that. Come on, do better. Well, in the case of my AP exam, I would have preferred it not, but hey, while we're at it, just be better at it. But I'll never be able to forgive you for what you did at that moment. Cause you you keep saying that you wanted to connect with the audience. I think I have a clip on one of my vlogs saying that that doesn't do. I'm right. It doesn't. All I could remember from that scene was looking in the back with Felix with his hands in his mouth in shock, Lenuga trying to hide under the desk, and then I just wanted to off myself on the stage at that moment. I mean, it's just as honest as I can be, because in my head I'm picturing that day in May when I opened my scores, right, and then I don't know. Maybe I'm taking it too far. I don't know, but uh, it doesn't hurt to think of the worst, which I don't know. I really don't know. But was it needed? No. Am I making a big deal out of this? Probably. But at that moment, all I could remember was anger. But you kind of have to get over it because I also have my slides coming up, so there's that. And honestly, whatever's done is done. I mean, he's still my best friend. And we're still tight. There's like nothing's gonna change that. But for a brief moment, how do I say this without getting sent to safe? Probably not. But yeah, so yeah, that's all I have to say for that. But either way, I'll let you get back to the movie. So yeah, see ya. Hey Miss Hjelm, this is vlog 3.8 for seminar, and yeah, I want to talk about this week. So, if I'm being really honest, it was kind of difficult. It was harder than I expected it to be to actually find a research question. Connecting the topics wasn't difficult because I ultimately settled with doing the PTSD one and Simone Biles stimulus. And what I did find was, yeah, connecting the topics is kind of easy. All of them have somewhat of a relative theme going on. So if you do find that, to it's kind of easy to connect them. What I'm saying. The hardest part, what I found out to be, was finding a research question that kind of connects them. So I think the hardest part about this whole thing that's been happening this week was to actually find a question that comes off of those two topics. So one of them, one of my questions that I came up with was, to what extent does the prevalence of post-traumatic stress disorder within a community impact social cohesion and collective resilience? I feel like there's too much going on in there because when I have the and social cohesion and collective resilience part, so I'm probably gonna take one of those off. But so I'm still doing some pre-research to find which one's gonna go off and which one's not. And yeah, so I feel like that's one thing that I have now is direction, because I was lost this whole week, kind of like to find a direction to go in. And another thing that I've been kind of pressing upon is that I don't want to do a question that is too cliche or too generic, because one, that's kind of boring, and second, well, to be fair, it doesn't really matter if it's boring, as long as it gets me the points. So I feel like at this point, after the turmoil in task one, I think this is a better way for me to kind of better the wrongs, I would say. So hey Miss Yum, this is well, for me, the first vlog of the fourth quarter, because I for some reason I forgot to record it last week. I had it up on my screen on my to-do list. So yeah, I'll do it, and then I never really did it. So this one I'll just combine the two. So things I don't agree with, but I wanted a second and third opinion, so I asked Luca and Enrique to read over it, and then they suggested a couple edits for me to make. So that's my goal over the weekend, to work on those edits, so I make the little fixes and I get the best score I possibly can. And this is the third vlog of the fourth quarter. So yeah, let's get into it. So we present this week, and I'm presenting, I think I'm third to last on Friday. Obviously, I wish that was a little higher up the list, so I didn't have to wait all that time, but it's fine. Hello, Miss Hjelm, and this is vlog, one of the ones for the fourth quarter, and it's relief time at this point, because we're 2/3 of the way done with the AP exam, and there's just one more left, the last dance I would call it, and then after that, it's all in the past. So yeah, we had the presentation this week, and I want to talk about it. So yeah, let's start. So I want to start with before I even start presenting, which was Thursday. So I was there like a couple times, and then I saw some nice presentations I was actually concerned because some of the ones that I thought were quite under time. Like I remember John Luca was like a 4:30 something, and then Issa went at 5. So I don't remember, but they were pretty quick. So I was a little concerned on how my timing was gonna go. So that kind of I still kept prepping, and then yeah, I went home thinking about my presentation, things I'm gonna do better, or the things I'm gonna change to my presentation, and then yeah, then we get cracking at it. What is up, YouTube? I'm kidding. Alright, Enrique, ready? Alright, so we just took the AP exam. What's up, Isabella?
Vlog?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Hi.
How'd you feel about it?
I don't know. I either got good or good.
I'll put this in the movie in the end. I was like, this is how my seminar documentary will end. But yeah, alright.